In the heart of the old city, hidden beneath winding alleys and crooked lampposts, the library stood like a sentinel of secrets. The world had forgotten it, but the library never forgot the world. Its shelves held not books, but glowing spheres, dreams abandoned by those who had stopped believing in them. For years, Elena had dreamt of this place, and one stormy night, she stepped through its doors. The first chamber whispers of lost souls inside. Silence wasn't empty. It throbbed with whispers. Each glowing orb hummed softly, releasing fragments of laughter, cries, unfinished songs. Curiosity drew Elena to touch one. In an instant, she found herself standing on a battlefield of ash, watching a soldier clutching a locket. His dream had been to return home, but he never did. Another orb showed a painter, dying in poverty, his masterpiece left unfinished. Elena trembled. This wasn't just a library. It was a graveyard of human hopes. Then she found it, the orb that flickered weakly, a fragile flame struggling against the dark. The moment she touched it, she heard a voice. "Find me, before I disappear." The shelves groaned, the library shuddered, and a shadowy guardian appeared, a figure cloaked in pages of burned books. "You dare to take what does not belong to you?" it thundered. Elena, heart racing, held the orb close. "I'll protect this dream." The figure leaned close. "Then you must follow it, into the world where forgotten things go." The floor split beneath her, and she fell into darkness. The forgotten world. Elena landed in a place of endless twilight, a world woven from fragments of lost time, towers of broken clocks, oceans of torn letters, forests of photographs that never developed. The air shimmered with melancholy, and there, stumbling through the ruins, was the boy from her vision. His eyes were hauntingly familiar. "Elena," he whispered. "You came." Her blood froze. "How do you know my name?" "Because I'm your brother." Shock ripped through her. She had no brother, or so she thought. Memories buried deep surged to the surface. A baby's laughter, lullabies, then silence. Her parents' grief had sealed away his existence. He had died before he could live his dreams. The boy reached for her. Shadows gathered instantly, whispering. He was forgotten for a reason. Leave him. But Elena refused. She grabbed his hand and pulled him through the shifting maze of broken memories. The trial of shadows. The shadows were relentless. They fed on doubt, twisting Elena's thoughts. You were never enough. He was erased because of you. You don't deserve to remember. The boy began to fade, his body dissolving like smoke. Elena fell to her knees, clutching the orb. Tears blurred her vision. "Listen to me," she cried. "You are real. You are my brother. You are not forgotten." The orb pulsed violently. Light exploded, pushing back the shadows. But then the guardian reappeared. Its voice shook the sky. "Only one may leave this world. Choose, yourself or the boy." Elena's heart tore. If she stayed, she would be trapped forever. If she left, he would vanish again. She looked into his eyes, so full of longing. Then, without hesitation, she pressed the orb into his hands. "My life began because of you," she whispered. "Now yours will continue because of me." The boy's form solidified, glowing with new life. He screamed her name as she faded. The return. Elena awoke with a gasp, back in the library. But the orb she had carried was gone. In its place, a new book rested on the shelf. Its title glowed softly, The Life of Samuel, Beloved Brother. Her hands shook as she opened it. Inside were pages that had never existed before. Samuel as a child, growing strong, laughing, living. Not a ghost, but a boy restored to history. Tears fell. She wasn't alone anymore. As she turned to leave, the library's voice whispered gently, "Every dream remembered restores a life. You have given up your dream once. But remember, Elena, this is only the beginning. One day you must return, for there are countless others still waiting." Elena stepped into the dawn, the storm gone, the city alive with new colors. And though her heart ached, It also burned with a new purpose. To return Datio fight he'll remember. The Archivist of Ashes. Weeks passed after Elena's first encounter with the library. She walked through the city as though carrying a secret flame inside her chest. Samuel, her brother, was alive again, restored to history, laughing in photographs, remembered by family. Her parents spoke of him now, as if he had always been there. And yet, a shadow of longing followed her, because she knew the library wasn't finished with her. The summons one night, as she slept, Elena felt the pull again. A soft humming invaded her dreams, an echo of shelves groaning under the weight of lost hopes. When she opened her eyes, she wasn't in her bed anymore. She stood before the bronze doors of the library. This time, they opened without resistance. The air inside was different, thicker, charged, as though hundreds of voices whispered in unison. The orbs no longer glowed gently. They flickered violently, as if struggling that a figure stepped forward from the shadows. It was not the guardian she had seen before, but someone new. Cloaked in gray robes, face hidden by a veil of smoke, the figure carried a lantern that burned with black fire. "I am the Archivist of Ashes," it said, voice calm yet heavy with centuries. "The one who tends the forgotten. You have meddled once, and the library allowed it. But do you understand what you've begun?" Elena's voice shook. "I restored a life. That can't be wrong." The archivist tilted its head. "For every dream remembered, another risks collapse. Restoration is not without consequence. Will you bear the weight of them all?" Before she could answer, the lantern's flame flared. Orbs shattered across the shelves, spilling fragments of forgotten lives into the air, faces, voices, half-sung songs. They swirled around Elena, begging, pleading, "Remember me! Save me! Don't let me disappear!" Elena pressed her hands to her ears, heart pounding. The archivist extended the lantern. "Choose one, or leave now and never return." The chosen dream, a fragment brushed against her cheek. A girl's laughter, bright and warm. Elena turned, and an orb drifted toward her, faint as a dying ember. Inside, she saw a little girl in a red coat, running along a snowy street, clutching a violin. Behind her, flames consumed a village. Elena grabbed it. The archivist's voice trembled with something like curiosity. "That dream belongs to a child who never reached safety. Her music was silenced before it could be heard. If you carry it, you will enter a world built of fire and silence. Will you risk it?" Elena clutched the orb tighter. "Yes." The archivist's lantern went dark. "Then go. And remember, not all who are forgotten wish to be found." The world of fire. She fell into the dream, heat slamming against her skin. Ash rained from the sky. She stood in a burning city where the air itself seemed to scream through the smoke. She saw her, the girl in the red coat, clutching her violin. Her eyes widened when she saw Elena. "You came!" the girl cried. "I've been waiting so long." But shadows rose from the flames, monstrous forms with mouths of smoke. They hissed, "The dead must stay dead. The silenced must remain silent." Elena grabbed the girl's hand. "We're leaving." The child shook her head. "I can't. My music, it was never finished. If I leave without it, I'll vanish again." The violin trembled in her hands. Half the strings were broken, warped by fire. She lifted the bow, but no sound came. Elena thought of Samuel. How she had saved him by remembering, by declaring his existence real. This child, too, needed someone to believe. She knelt, holding the girl's shoulders. "Play. Even if the strings are broken, play." The girl lifted the bow again. At first, only a faint note emerged, thin, fragile. But Elena sang with it, her voice shaky but steady. A lullaby her mother had once sung. The shadows recoiled, hissing. The child's eyes lit with courage. She played harder. The broken strings sang. The fire dimmed. The air cleared. And the shadows screamed as they dissolved into silence. The return. Elena and the girl stumbled back into the library. The orb in Elena's hand now glowed like a rising sun. The archivist stepped forward. You carried her through. Few have the strength. The girl smiled, her red coat gleaming as if brand new. She hugged Elena tightly before fading into light. Somewhere, in the real world, a forgotten name was restored, a melody remembered. Elena turned to the archivist. There are more, aren't there? Countless more. The figure's lantern flickered with black fire again. Yes, but each rescue leaves scars. The more you take on, the less of yourself remains. One day, you may forget your own name. Elena straightened her back, determination burning in her chest. Then I'll remember theirs for as long as I can. The archivist bowed. Very well, Dreamkeeper. The library accepts you. But know this, the deeper you go, the harder it will be to return. And with that, the shelves stretched higher, the whispers louder. Elena looked up, unafraid. She had chosen her path. And this was only the beginning.